Hello and welcome back to A Foreigner and Family in the Philippines. And I'm back over here at the Falcata nursery, and these, I'm showing the Falcata that we separated. Looks like there were about 100 here, 50 more down the line, and we separated those out with a little ette and watered them. I was anticipating a little more rain that might have helped, but I'm glad they just died. We need to go ahead and start some new Falcata seedlings. I still have way more seed than I will ever use. In fact, it's going to go bad if I don't use it, so I'll go ahead and just make up some more new ones. So I was hoping to come here this week and then transplant these into some of the spaces where a Falcata had died, or some areas that had gotten cleaned up and made space available, but that wasn't going to happen. So I had put it off till next week, but now that I see them, and you see there are some green ones, these would be okay. There are some green ones here with a long straight stem because they were so tightly packed in here, but they have the taproot, so it was actually better. Oh, the other ones are down here and they died also. Yeah, because I had 150 set aside for us to transplant, and so it is better that they just went ahead and died here, because I'd rather not have had them hang on and then transplant them, and because they lost part of that taproot, not be as good of a tree. So we'll just do a small nursery for those filler trees. Which means when I get back today, I'll go ahead and get some seeds in a wet towel, get those germinated, so we can, I don't know, and I don't know how we're going to do it. I know we had set up the nursery over here, but it's still dry, so they're not getting the rain. It might be easier just to keep them over by me. So I might do that, and then just on the day that we come over to transplant them, bring them over. And we did fertilize the Falcata over here today. I did a mix with 4 sacks of ette, 2 sacks of lime, half a sack of the 1414 fertilizer, so that all got mixed together and it was distributed. And we're just fanning it out over the uphill side of the Falcata. We are anticipating, I have been anticipating some rain here, but it's the end of the dry season and beginning of the rainy season, so it just fanned out like that. These are Falcata are still fairly small, so and so by doing that on the uphill side, it'll wash down on around the Falcata there. And since they're small, the roots don't extend out that far, so we did keep it close, and I wanted to keep it away from the trunk of the tree because it has the ette in it, which is chicken dung, and I don't want to promote any of the organisms or pests that are growing in that, or just create a space for some pests to move into, because we already have a pest issue with a spider worm. I found out that it is a spider worm. I'm going to go see if I can find one to show. And on that last Falcata update video that I had done, I had showed all of them. I mean, they're way up there, but these are even on the young ones. It's a little, the spider worm crawls up here. I guess he feasts on the leaves, and then he burrows and makes these little brown housings. And they can come off like that. I don't know if I can actually, sometimes there's one right there. And he's digging his way back in, but that was a spider worm. See if I can coax him back out. kind of tough to do one-handed. But I'll go through and kind of pick, when I see these, pick them off. And that's why we try to keep it pruned at the base too, just because we don't want any extra entry points laying on the ground there to give him another access route to the leaves. But they do that, and there's another one over here. But then they'll do this. I don't know, it's like it almost mutates the branches or something. So these spider worm, and the spacing that I have is 4 meters by 4 meters, and you wouldn't think that would be an issue out here. But because of that other area that I had shown in my last Falcata update, the spacing was way too tight, and they're able to just transfer. And it's not as bad of a problem out here, but over there where the branches were touching each other, they were able to just transfer, and it's almost like an infestation, which then has now transferred over into these guys, my young ones. So we are going to go ahead, I think next week, try and do thinning on that, because they're 2 by 2 meter spacing, and just eliminate every other row and every other column and get it back to 4 by 4 like this, and then see if that can be managed. And then if that spacing ends up being too tight, just same with these, I'd go back in, eliminate another row, and make it 4 by 8. So we'll see how it goes on that. And we actually got finished with the fertilizing a little early today, actually just before lunch even. So we decided to come over here and just do some cleaning up. This area had a lot of stumps and weeds over here, and all these branches and stuff just made it was kind of tough to do any weeding over there. And with the rocks, it makes it a little awkward. And then you get these vine weeds creeping out. And so the trees next to the creek were the ones that were the ones that succumbed to the weeds, because those got covered first and just were overwhelmed. So now we're trying to keep up on those vine weeds. With the rainy season coming there, it's going to happen again. But these should be a little more established. We'll have to really watch the ones that we transplant. But I don't even have the new nursery set up for the new seedlings just yet. So burn this, and then it makes cleaning up those vine weeds a little easier, but they just run rampant through there. And that was actually the 2 patches of the bamboo. So it's nice to have that. I mean, that's pretty overwhelming. It's nice to have bamboo, and there are some bamboo spots, but it can be a bit of a nuisance too. Now I'll go ahead and end it there. Please like,